Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. We're diving into something really important today, something that a lot of you have asked about, and it's going to be a deep one. We're talking about what happens when you go no contact with a narcissist. Trust me, it's a journey, and if you're considering it or are already on this path, there are some things you absolutely need to know. So, what exactly happens when you go no contact with a narcissist? If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you know how complicated and exhausting it can be. Their manipulation, control, and constant need for attention can drain your energy and spirit. Deciding to go no contact might be one of the most powerful decisions you make for your mental health, but it's not always easy. There are a lot of things that can happen when you cut off all communication with a narcissist, and I want to walk you through what you can expect. First off, you need to prepare yourself for the initial shock. Narcissists thrive on control, and when you remove yourself from their grasp, they might react in ways that can be surprising, unsettling, or downright frightening. They might lash out trying to regain control, or they might play the victim, making you feel guilty for setting boundaries. They'll try different tactics, ranging from love bombing to smear campaigns, all to pull you back into their orbit. You might also experience a sense of relief, finally being free from their toxic grip. But, and this is a big but, don't expect that relief to come immediately or consistently. There might be moments where you doubt your decision, where you miss the person you thought they were, or where you feel lonely. This is all part of the process. It's important to remind yourself why you went no contact in the first place. You did it to protect yourself, to regain your sense of self, and to break free from the cycle of abuse. One thing you should definitely expect is the narcissist trying to hoover you back in. Hoovering is when they attempt to suck you back into their life, often using charm, apologies, or promises of change. Don't fall for it. Narcissists rarely change, and their apologies are usually just another manipulation tactic. Stay strong and stay no contact, no matter how tempting it might be to believe that they've suddenly become the person you always hoped they would be. Another thing to expect is the smear campaign. When a narcissist realizes they can't control you anymore, they might try to control how others perceive you. They'll spread lies, twist the truth, and make you out to be the villain. This can be incredibly painful, especially if people you care about believe the narcissist's lies. But remember, this is just another way for them to try to regain power over you. Hold your head high, stay true to yourself, and let your actions speak louder than their words. You should also prepare for some emotional ups and downs. Going no contact can feel like a breakup, even if the relationship wasn't romantic. You might grieve the loss of the person you thought they were, or the future you imagine with them. This is completely normal. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, but don't let them pull you back into the narcissist's web. Healing takes time, and it's okay to feel sad, angry, or confused. Just keep moving forward. During this process, you might also find that you're rediscovering parts of yourself that were suppressed or lost during your time with the narcissist. This can be a beautiful and empowering experience. Maybe you pick up a hobby you used to love, reconnect with old friends, or simply enjoy the peace that comes with no longer being under someone else's control. Embrace this time of self-discovery and allow yourself to grow. It's also important to be aware that the narcissist might try to use flying monkeys to get to you. Flying monkeys are people who the narcissist manipulates to do their bidding. They might try to guilt trip you, persuade you to give the narcissist another chance, or even deliver messages on the narcissist's behalf. Stay firm in your decision and don't let these third parties sway you. Remember, they are being manipulated just as you were. You might also start to notice just how much the narcissist impacted your life. When you're in the thick of it, it can be hard to see just how much of your time, energy, and self-worth was tied up in the narcissist's demands. As you distance yourself, you might be shocked by how much space they took up in your life. This realization can be painful, but it can also be incredibly freeing. Now that you see it, you can start to reclaim your life piece by piece. Another thing to expect is that the narcissist might try to reinvent themselves or find a new target. Narcissists need constant admiration and attention, and if they can't get it from you, they'll look elsewhere. While it can be difficult to see them move on as if nothing happened, try not to take it personally. Their need for a new supply is a reflection of their own emptiness, not of your worth. On a more positive note, you might find that going no contact allows you to rebuild your self-esteem. Narcissists often tear down their victims, making them feel unworthy, incapable, and dependent. As you separate yourself from their influence, you might start to regain confidence in yourself and your abilities. This is a powerful part of the healing process, and it's something you should embrace fully. You should also be prepared for the narcissist to test your boundaries. They might try to contact you through different means: social media, mutual friends, or even showing up unannounced. It's crucial to stay firm in your no-contact decision. Any response, even a negative one, can be seen as a win for them. Remember, no contact means no contact. Protect your peace at all costs. As time goes on, you might also experience a sense of liberation. No longer being under the narcissist's control can feel like a huge weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You might find yourself laughing more, enjoying life again, and feeling hopeful about the future. This newfound freedom is something to celebrate, and it's a sign that you're on the right path. Finally, expect that healing will take time. Going no contact with a narcissist is a big step, but it's not the end of the journey. There will be ups and downs, good days and bad days. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself the time you need to heal. Surround yourself with supportive people, engage in self-care, and keep moving forward. You've made an incredibly brave decision, and with time you'll see just how much it was worth it. Alright guys, that's all for today. I hope this video gave you some insight into what to expect when you go no contact with a narcissist. Remember, it's not an easy path, but it's a powerful one. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Embarking on the inaugural steps of a captivating odyssey into the enigmatic realm of elder narcissists sets the tone for today. For those traversing its labyrinthine passages, the journey of aging proves to be a tumultuous voyage. Our vigor wanes, apprehension looms large, and the specter of mortality casts its shadow upon us. Yet, amidst this capricious milieu, glimpses of the betrayals wrought by time manifest. We harvest the fruits of our labor by delving into the fundamental tenets that define our essence. Embracing the profound joys of enduring bonds with cherished ones and unyielding self-assurance, we relinquish our superficial cravings. Individuals predisposed to narcissism grapple with expressing gratitude as the years advance. They confront feelings of vulnerability, trepidation, and indignation witnessing the relentless march of time, realizing that the fount of self-serving gratification is dwindling. With advancing age, narcissists reliant on external stimuli such as appearance, wealth, renown, connections, or occupational triumphs to bolster their fragile self-worth find their defenses crumbling, their allure diminishing, and their grasp over others slipping away. They used to be in charge of their social circles and use sneaky ways to manipulate others, but as they get older, their circle gets smaller. They can't count on their physical attractiveness or charisma to get people to do what they want anymore. As their good looks fade, they become less important in a society that loves young people. This makes it harder for them to hold on to power, control, and a weak sense of self-worth, which leads them to the depths of despair. As time goes on, narcissists face a harsh truth. The ways they usually get narcissistic material start to fail. Narcissists build their identities on shaky ground, while emotionally mature people base their lives on love, healthy relationships, and a feeling of belonging. They have trouble making real connections because they aren't emotionally or psychologically intelligent. Instead, they depend on external validation, superficiality, and love to keep their fragile egos up. Keeping up this reliance on outside approval gets harder for them as they get older. As people get older, narcissists face big problems because their normal strategies stop working, leaving them struggling to find their way in a social world that is changing. Because of this, they often abuse, take advantage of, manipulate, become overly sensitive, get angry, and be self-centered. The trip for an older narcissist is without mercy and grace, and it is marked by a slow loss of mental and physical abilities. They used to be very strong, but now they look weak and wilted, nothing like how they used to be. When they look at themselves in the mirror, They are shocked and angry, and they refuse to accept how weak they are becoming. It's a protest against the monotony that is threatening to take over their lives. They are used to being admired and loved, so they can't get used to being alone and sad. Narcissists don't get wiser or closer to family and friends as they get older like most people do. Instead of becoming more self-aware and empathetic, they take their harmful traits to a whole new level, becoming worse versions of themselves. Narcissists who are getting older end up stuck in their own fantasies and can't face the fact that they are getting worse. As time goes on, they become more and more alone and sad, a terrible reminder of what happens when you live your life trying to be liked and accepted. Getting through the waning presence of a narcissist is an emotional run that drains you to the point of exhaustion. Even though getting older is hard for everyone, the narcissist strongly opposes its natural progress. They don't accept the passing of time with grace. Instead, they strongly fight it, refusing to learn from its lessons or find wisdom in its journey. Like pawns that don't move, they don't have any growth and haven't gained the wisdom and calmness that come with time. As their power fades, their personalities become more noticeable, driven by a desperate need to keep control over the people around them. They become bitter, defensive, and intimidating as a result of their behavior. As the years go by, our true selves grow and show what kind of person we are. If we were naturally kind when we were young, it only gets better with age. On the other hand, people who hold on to negative see it grow over time. But for narcissists, getting older brings out their worst traits in a bigger way. Desperation, delusion, anxiety, anger, abuse, and loneliness. The old ego still can't find wisdom or humility because they are so set on their sense of entitlement. Instead of growing up in a mature way, time only makes their expectations stronger, expecting others to always pay attention and follow their lead. Under the surface, they are frustrated, and when their wants aren't met, they lash out in angry rants and manipulative behavior. Manipulation is the most powerful tool that an older ego has at their disposal. They have been practicing the dark art of gaslighting for years and have a group of loyal followers who help them carry out their plans perfectly. As we go through life, the layers that hide our true selves slowly come off, showing who we really are. Indeed, this discovery is true even for narcissists, whose once glowy appeal fades over time. Aging narcissists use different methods to control and manage the people around them because they can't easily captivate them with their fading beauty and charm. They use people's sympathy and guilt about their getting older as a tool to get what they want. At first, narcissists who are getting older may strongly deny that truth is creeping in, desperately holding on to the remnants of their youth. They look at every wrinkle and gray hair with great care, desperately trying to look young to go against what society thinks of getting older. But there is a greater truth behind this mask. Getting older shows the true nature of narcissists by showing how they only care about themselves and how easily they can be manipulated and envious. When they see other people's success and happiness, it makes them feel jealous and painfully reminds them of how inadequate they think they are. Most people deal with the inevitable knowledge and grace that comes with getting older with grace, but narcissists are different. Their never-ending need for love and attention only gets stronger over time, pushing them to do desperate things to make up for the fact that they are becoming less attractive. They are always filled with anger and bitterness, which makes it hard for them to get along with other people. Many people find a deep sense of satisfaction as they get older, especially as they reach their 50s. Narcissists, on the other hand, find this time of life impossible to get through. After spending their whole lives being in charge and dominant, getting older becomes an enemy they can't beat. Narcissists who are older often have to deal with broken relationships. People who are no longer with a bad partner move on because they can't stand being around them anymore. Even their older children, who are aware of how manipulative they can be, set limits to protect their own families, often by pulling away or breaking off all ties. Money problems make it harder for narcissists who are getting old. They are known for showing off their wealth in a showy way, and they often spend a lot of money to keep up the appearance of being rich. But as resources run out, money becomes a cause of conflict, making their problems even worse. They can't control their impulses, which leads to expensive addictions and growing debt that makes them open to losing money in old age. Narcissists who are getting older desperately try to stay in charge and feel like they are still important while they are going downhill. They protect their fragile sense of superiority by putting down others based on their race, gender, or any other trait that makes them different. This keeps them from facing their own fears. This defense system keeps up their false idea of themselves as divine beings. Narcissists are amazing at finding flaws in other people and situations and making them seem much worse than they really are. As they get older, their standards become less realistic, which makes them unhappy all the time. They have a fragile ego and an inflated sense of self, which makes it hard for them to accept their flaws and limits as their power fades. To keep up the illusion that they are better than others, they make up stories that put the blame for their fall on other people. Surprisingly, narcissists who are older become even more self-centered. It may sound crazy, but narcissists become even more obsessed with themselves as they get older. When the admiration they used to get for their looks, money, or intelligence fades, they focus even more on the person they love and hate the most, themselves. As a crisis, getting old brings up a lot of physical and mental weaknesses that are only found in narcissists. When they feel the weight of guilt, it shows how much harm they caused others when they were young. The threat of revenge looms over them, a scary reflection of the people they hurt in the past. Narcissists will never understand the idea of accountability because it is so foreign to them. They believe they are victims and blame others for what they think are their mistakes because they are so angry. They are always looking for someone to blame as they deal with the thought of losing power or respect that they thought was theirs. It's still hard to imagine owning up to a life gone wrong. As they get older, their anger, spite, and hatred grow, and they are sure that the world has cheated them out of what is rightfully theirs. They start to remember incredibly few things, conveniently ignoring their own mistakes while passionately portraying themselves as victims all the time, enjoying the allure of self-pity. With age, they lose some power over their actions and thoughts, so they hold on tighter to them. As their defensiveness grows, they become more likely to lose their cool when their authority is questioned. An old narcissist's temper gets shorter, and their feelings start to become more erratic and hard to predict. People who put on a nice front often have anger that is just below the surface, ready to explode at the smallest provocation. Aging narcissists feel entitled to act without control because they think they are better than others. They use their advanced years as an excuse to hurt others without feeling bad about it. They have never heard of reciprocal relationships, and because they don't care about or understand their partner's lives, they can't make real bonds. Their only goal is to have their wants met, and they expect constant love and attention from others. Their relationships are naturally exploitative and sometimes bordering on parasitic, as if they think they have the right to control and own the people around them. Navigating the company of an older narcissist can be difficult because they keep acting out. Aging narcissists are a sad sight when the curtain falls on their last act. After reaching adulthood, a lot of people are stuck in a lonely life without any family or friends to talk to. People who saw how bad the narcissist was in the past have left them alone, and their once imposing presence has been reduced to a sad echo of the unhappy soul they once were. In their youth, vanity was always by their sides, but now it often leads them into bad relationships. As the narcissist reaches middle age, they are less likely to get married because they have fewer children to share their life with. With all of their connections and bridges burned, they are living a lonely life that lacks the vitality of life, like a hollow shell ready to be embraced by death. In the last few years of their lives, narcissists experience a strange separation as they see their power, control, dominance, grandiosity, and webs of lies fall apart. But in the settling dust, all that's left is a weak, insecure person who is consumed by fear and painful loneliness.